Hey everyone, I think we all know that feeling, right? When you're bombarded with so much information, you kind of lose track of what's actually important. That's why we're here. To dive deep, to cut through all the noise and uncover something truly meaningful. And I think today's topic is going to resonate deeply. We're talking about Kalas from Sanatan Dharma.
Kalas.
Yeah, these potent energies, almost like frequencies of divine power. And get this, together they form the very essence of consciousness itself. Pretty profound stuff, huh?
Definitely. And what makes this whole exploration so fascinating is Sri Krishna.
Oh yeah, shoot.
He stands out. You see, the other divine incarnations, they had significant kalas, but Krishna embodies all 16 of them?
16. We know from the source material that powerful avatars like Rama had 12 kalas. Even Parshuram had 6. And those are some serious divine figures. But Krishna takes it to a whole other level. He's the Purna Purushottam, the Purna avatar, the complete incarnation of Vishnu, the ultimate expression of the divine right here on earth. 16 distinct rays of divine power. Wow.
It really makes you wonder, though, what does it actually mean to be complete in that divine sense? What are these 16 facets that create such profound wholeness?
Well, that's exactly what we're here to uncover in this deep dive.
Right.
Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to explore each of these 16 kalas, not just as some abstract concept, but to understand their significance, and maybe even more importantly, how they relate to our lives today. So let's start by getting a grasp on what these kalas really represent.
Yeah, good idea. So the Sanskrit term kala essentially means ray or aspect of divine power, but it's not just about having certain skills or talents.
Oh, you're right.
It's about fundamental spiritual energies. They shape and define our consciousness. They're expressions of this underlying divine energy. And here's something interesting. The root of kala is connected to the idea of time. Its cyclical nature.
Oh, wow.
So these aspects, these divine powers, they're dynamic, ever-flowing.
So it's not just about being a great musician or a courageous warrior. It's something much deeper.
Exactly. Foundational energies, they influence everything. And like we mentioned, the number of kalas an avatar embodies shows how complete their divine manifestation is.
Okay, so this is where it gets exciting. We get to explore each of these 16 kalas one by one. All right, let's kick things off with Shri. Written in Sanskrit, it looks like this.
Right, Shri.
That translates to divine prosperity. But it's not just about material wealth, although that can be part of it. Our source links Shri to Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance.
Makes sense.
And in Krishna's life, we see this Shri as, well, an all-encompassing abundance. Not just riches, but grace, charm, an inherent attractiveness that drew everyone to him.
It's true, he had a magnetic personality.
So the takeaway here might be that true prosperity isn't just about money. It's about having an abundance of good qualities, positive relationships. It's about the richness of your life.
I like that. Okay, next up we have Bu. Bu. What does that symbolize?
Earthly power, mastery over the Darki Tattva, the element of earth.
It represents balance, stability, and a sense of responsibility to the world around us. Krishna, he always understood how to maintain this balance. Even in the craziest situations, he had this groundedness, Maybe Bu is telling us to stay grounded, be responsible in how we interact with the physical world.
Next, we have Leela.
Leela.
Leela. This one sounds fun.
Divine playfulness. The idea here is that the entire universe, with all its complexity, all the good and the bad, it's all a play of consciousness. Krishna's Ras Leela, his dance with the gopis, that's a great example. Engaging with life with joy, spontaneity, recognizing the playfulness within the cosmic order. Maybe Leela's a nudge for us to lighten up a little, huh? Find the joy in the challenges. See them as part of a bigger dance.
That's beautiful. And then there's Kanti.
Kanti. Radiance. A mesmerizing aura. Everyone around Krishna felt it. It was charisma. A luminous quality. Far more than physical beauty. An inner light shining outwards. Maybe Kanti is about cultivating our own inner radiance, Through positivity, through spiritual practice, letting our true selves shine through.
I love that idea. Okay, moving on. We've got Vidya.
Vidya. The Bhagavad Gita comes to mind.
Right on. Divine knowledge. And it's not just any knowledge.
Yeah, no.
It's about ultimate spiritual wisdom, the profound truths in the Bhagavad Gita. It's about understanding yourself, the universe, that deep connection between everything. It's wisdom you feel, not just something you read. So for us, maybe Vidya is a reminder to seek those deeper truths, to understand the principles guiding everything.
Now we come to Vairagya. This one can be tough to really grasp.
Vairagya, right.
Detachment. But here's the thing. It's not about being emotionless or unloving. It's about loving without clinging, without being attached to certain outcomes. Krishna's the perfect example. He was fully present in every relationship, every action, but he was untouched by the results.
Like a true yogi.
Right. He played a key role in the Mahabharata, deeply involved but not attached to victory or defeat. What can we learn from that? Maybe it's about engaging fully in our work, in our relationships, but detaching our happiness from specific outcomes.
So it's about focusing on the journey.
Exactly. It brings resilience, inner peace,
Yep.
no matter the results.
Okay. Let's talk about Yasha.
Yasha.
Yasha. His name and stories have certainly stood the test of time.
They have. Divine fame. It goes beyond time itself. Krishna's name, his teachings, they resonate even now, thousands of years later. It's amazing. It shows the depth and impact of his existence. Maybe Yasha is about the lasting effect of a life lived with high principles. It's about leaving a good legacy.
Leaving the world a little better than you found it. Next, we have Shakti. Shakti. I always think about him lifting the Govardhan mountain with one finger.
Yeah.
That image really captures Shakti.
It does, doesn't it? Spiritual energy, balanced and seemingly limitless. It wasn't brute force. It was focused, divine energy capable of the extraordinary, a wellspring of strength within. So, Shakti. Maybe it's about tapping into our inner reserves of energy, using them with focus and purpose.
Okay, now for Aishwarya. Aishwarya. It's interesting how Krishna was both a king and a servant. Seems paradoxical.
It does. Sovereignty. Power wielded with humility. He had royal lineage. He was divine, yet he often served others.
It's true.
True sovereignty comes from understanding and caring for all beings. It's about leading with compassion. So maybe Aishwarya shows us that true power isn't about domination. It's about service and understanding.
Okay. Moving on to Janana. Janana. And we talked earlier about this going beyond just intellectual knowledge, right?
Exactly. Pure knowledge. This is about direct experience, a deep understanding of yourself and the divine. It's not just reading scriptures. It's about a realization that comes from inner experience and spiritual insight. It's transformative knowledge.
So it's a journey of self-discovery.
It is. Janana shows us the importance of seeking wisdom through study, through personal experience, leading us to a deeper understanding of who we really are.
Now, Karuna. Karuna. This one is quite moving. It's about Krishna's empathy and his sadness at the suffering of everyone, even his enemies.
Yes, compassion. His empathy was so profound, it went beyond those who loved him. He felt for everyone, even those who opposed him. It shows a fundamental connection, a shared human experience, maybe even a cosmic experience. Imagine that depth of feeling. For us, Karuna emphasizes the importance of cultivating empathy and understanding towards everyone, even those we might disagree with.
Okay, let's look at Driti.
Days.
You know, the image of the eye of the storm really captures this one for me.
It's a great analogy, isn't it? Inner stability, it's unwavering composure, peace amidst chaos. Krishna had this amazing ability to remain centered, balanced, no matter what was going on around him.
He was a rock.
He was. Think about the Kurukshetra war, all that chaos. And he's this beacon of stability for Arjuna. For us, Sriti, it points to building inner resilience, staying calm even when things get rough.
So staying centered. Next, we have Smarana.
Smarana.
You're saying every action he took was a kind of meditation, a constant awareness of the divine.
You got it. Divine remembrance. Every action, every thought, rooted in dharma and a connection to a higher purpose. Krishna lived with constant mindfulness and devotion.
So it's like being present in every moment.
It is. It's like mindfulness, but even deeper. A constant awareness of your values, your purpose, in everything you do. Smarana encourages us to bring that mindfulness, that intention to everything we do.
All right. We're getting close to the end. Sankalpa.
Yes, go.
This one's all about the power of manifestation.
It is. Divine will, whatever he willed, it happened. His will was in perfect alignment with the universe, and so his intentions manifested perfectly. It's power that comes from harmony with the universe. It's like having your intention, your actions, and the flow of the universe all in sync. We can work towards that in our own lives, you know, by having clear and focused intentions.
Okay, Ananda.
Ananda.
That feeling of pure joy, it seemed to radiate from him, making everyone around him happy.
Yes, bliss. Pure joy at the core of the divine. Krishna emanated this joy. It brought so much happiness to those around him. Radha, the gopis, Yashoda. It reminds us that joy is a fundamental part of the divine. Maybe Ananda's telling us to look for that inner joy, to cultivate it within ourselves. It's there, no matter what's going on outside.
And finally, we arrive at Purnata.
Purnata, wholeness. The culmination of everything. Absolute wholeness and completeness. Oneness. It means there's no lack, no separation. It's the state of Purna. Everything is unified, experienced as one. For us, Purnata might be about recognizing our own inherent wholeness, moving beyond feelings of separation and connecting more deeply with everything around us.
It's amazing when you look at all 16 kalas together. It becomes so clear why Krishna is considered the complete avatar.
I agree. It's not just that he had a few divine qualities, it's that he embodied the entire spectrum of them. Our source really emphasizes that Krishna isn't just some figure in old stories. He's a living example of divine perfection. He embodies karma yoga, the path of selfless action, jnana yoga, the path of wisdom, and bhakti yoga, the path of devotion. They all come together in him.
And the way he navigated life, flawlessly moving between such different roles, friend, lover, warrior, philosopher, king, child, and yet through it all, he remained completely detached. That's Purnata in action.
You got it. The ability to be totally present in each role without being defined by it. That's true completeness. Now, how does all this connect to us, to the listener, on their own journey?
Well, the source material highlights that humans typically have fewer kalas,
Right.
maybe 3, 6, 8, or 12.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the good news. We can cultivate them. We can expand these divine energies within us.
And that's powerful, but how do we do it? That's the question.
Right. How do we make that happen?
Well, the source points to spiritual practices, sadhana, consistent spiritual discipline, seva, selfless service, and of course, cultivating self-awareness. These are powerful tools to awaken and nurture these divine energies within us.
I love how specific it gets. It mentions meditation for inner stability,
Mm-hmm.
3D. Reciting mantras to connect with divine sound and energy, that's Shakti. Living according to Dharma to align with the cosmic order, Smarana. And cultivating devotion, Bhakti, to experience bliss, Ananda. And there's that incredible quote. It says, Krishna ki Kalaayein apne andar jagao, tu tumbi purna ban jate ho. Awaken the kalas of Krishna within you, and you too become complete. Powerful stuff.
So it's not about trying to become Krishna. It's about tapping into those same divine energies that he embodied so perfectly. It's about realizing our own potential for completeness by nurturing those kalas within us.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a moment. Let's look at this through a psychological lens. How can we understand Krishna's 16 kalas in terms of personal growth?
Okay. From that perspective, his kalas represent desirable human qualities, like emotional intelligence. That's about understanding and managing emotions, like karuna and driti, a strong sense of inner balance and resilience. That's driti. Heightened intuition, which could be jnana, the ability to experience joy and contentment, that's ananda. And grace in our actions and relationships tree, it paints a picture of a well-rounded, fully integrated person.
And, the source highlights these teachings that seem a bit paradoxical. Acting fully, maybe reflecting Shakti and Leela, but remaining detached from the outcome, that's Vairagya, loving deeply without becoming dependent. Vairagya and Ananda again, it's like a secret to a divine life. But it's also so relevant to us, right?
It is. In a psychological sense, it's about being fully present in life without being consumed by attachments or aversions. It's a path to greater resilience, to inner freedom. It's about handling life's ups and downs with passion and a sense of peace, finding that balance between engagement and detachment.
So as you're listening, as you go about your day, navigating work, relationships, your own thoughts and feelings, what's the key takeaway for you?
I'd say the most important takeaway is this. The 16 kalas of Krishna, they're not just abstract spiritual ideas stuck in ancient texts. They're a guide. They give us practical principles to live a meaningful life, a life that's complete and in line with your truest potential.
And the source ends with a beautiful thought. It says, if we walk even a few steps toward Krishna, he runs toward us with infinite love. What a powerful image, right? It speaks to the divine's responsiveness, the potential for connection that's there for each of us.
It really does. And that leads to a final thought for you. If these divine kalas, these qualities of wholeness, reside within us, even if they're not fully developed, what could happen if we consciously made even small efforts to cultivate them? What would it look like to start that journey toward your own sense of completeness?